Good morning students, this is your teacher Neela Mehlawat and today we'll continue with the topic that is your chapter number 17, breathing and exchange of gases. This is a lecture number 4, okay dear students, and I hope you're understanding this topic, and if there is any query, any doubt, you will send your doubts and queries to me on my personal number, okay dear students. So let's start with lecture number 4. Now coming to this, our lecture number 4 deals with the transport of gases. Now before we talk about the transport of gases, we must understand the partial pressure. See, partial pressure means the pressure which is exerted by every gas. Okay, that is called the partial pressure. And this partial pressure is very important in the transport of gases. This is important, right? So we know so far that the exchange occurs at two places, right? The first exchange occurs between the alveoli and the RBC, right? There is exchange of gases between alveoli and RBC. From alveoli, the oxygen will be transported into the RBC, and from RBC it will be transported into the alveoli. So CO2 is going in this direction and oxygen is going on that direction. RBC and cells. Second is between the RBC and the cells. RBC will give the oxygen to the cells, and cells will transport the carbon dioxide to the RBC. Clear? So at two steps the exchange of gases are occurring. Clear? So we'll start with the transport also. Transport also occurs. You can say these two will be your essential points, main points where transport will be there. Clear? Now blood is the medium of transport. Your oxygen, carbon dioxide, they both are being transported through the blood, right? 97% of the oxygen is transported by RBC and only 3% of the oxygen is transported in dissolved state. ठीक है, अगर हम ऑक्सीजन की बात करते हैं या कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की बात करते हैं तो दोनों ही गैसेस को ट्रांसपोर्ट ब्लड करता है. ऑक्सीजन 97% ट्रांसपोर्ट होती है RBCs के थ्रू and 3% is being transported in the dissolved state in the plasma. Now whenever Hb is your hemoglobin, the hemoglobin combines with oxygen, then we call the blood as oxyhemoglobin. ठीक है, तो हम इस कॉम्बिनेशन को oxyhemoglobin कहते हैं. So जहाँ पर भी ऑक्सीजन की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ज़्यादा होगी, this hemoglobin will combine with the oxygen and form the oxyhemoglobin. ठीक है, जहाँ पर भी wherever the concentration is low, जहाँ ऑक्सीजन की कमी होगी, वहाँ पर oxyhemoglobin जो है it will break down, it will break and it will release Hb and oxygen. ठीक है, जहाँ पर concentration ज़्यादा है वहाँ Hb will associate with oxygen, form oxyhemoglobin. जहाँ पर concentration कम है वहाँ oxyhemoglobin will break down and release hemoglobin plus oxygen. ठीक है. Secondly, the transport of carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide, 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide is transported by RBC. जो 20 से 25% है, only that much is transported by RBC. 70% of the, you can say the 70% of the carbon dioxide is transported in bicarbonate form. ठीक है, and 7% is transported in the dissolved form. So here in case of carbon dioxide, the majority of the carbon dioxide is transported in the form of carbonates. Okay. Now let's see how it happens. Now suppose करिए the first exchange that occurs. If you remember yesterday we talked about the transport of gases, isn't it? Yes or no? So first transport occurs at the alveoli. Right? In the alveoli. Now in this you see, I've taken a picture of the alveoli and I'm showing you. See, in the alveoli, the oxygen concentration will be more, and in the blood, the CO2 will be more, right? So in the alveoli, we can say the partial pressure of oxygen is more than carbon dioxide. ठीक है, तो alveoli के अंदर ऑक्सीजन का पार्शियल प्रेशर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड से ज़्यादा होगा, So what will happen? The oxygen will come into the blood and CO2 will go into the alveoli. So because of this pressure difference, ऑक्सीजन ब्लड के अंदर आ जाएगा और ब्लड से कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एल्वियोलाई में चला जाएगा. क्लियर? नाउ यू नो योर blood has a heme molecule which is called hemoglobin, isn't it? Now this hemoglobin can associate with 4 oxygen molecules. So one hemoglobin can combine with 4 oxygen molecules. ठीक है? So one HB will combine with how many molecules of oxygen? 4 molecules and will form oxyhemoglobin. Clear everyone? Oxyhemoglobin. ठीक है? And one molecule of this hemoglobin has 4 iron molecules, 4 iron atoms. ठीक है? 4 iron atoms. Is it clear to everyone? They have 4 iron atoms. ठीक है? And this one hemoglobin molecule can combine with 4 molecules of oxygen. It can combine with 4 molecules of oxygen. Clear है? Is it clear? Okay. So hemoglobin you understood? Now this combining capacity of oxygen molecule, जो ऑक्सीजन और ब्लड के बीच में जो बॉन्डिंग है, this depends on certain factors like temperature, hydrogen ion concentration and the concentration of carbon dioxide. Clear? अगर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ज़्यादा होती है, if you remember, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड combines 20 to 25 times faster than the oxygen. ठीक है? Is it clear to everyone? So these 3 factors, they affect the binding of oxygen with the hemoglobin. Now just see this. I have again a photograph for you. This is your RBC. In the RBC you can see your hemoglobin molecules, and this hemoglobin molecule will bind with the oxygen. Okay, and then this RBC will be carried, then it will reach the places. See here, the oxygen is more. The oxygen is more, right? In the beginning I told you, जहाँ कहीं भी oxygen की concentration ज़्यादा होगी, oxygen and hemoglobin they will combine with each other. Now at this place, the concentration of oxygen is less. So hemoglobin जो है, the oxyhemoglobin, it will dissociate to release the oxygen. So oxygen will be released. Now again you see, we are coming with the same photograph. The structure of the binding site. I have added another factor which is called the structure of the binding site. See, the structure of the binding site is very, very important. Okay, when it combines with oxygen or something else, then the structure of the hemoglobin is changed. Suppose CO2 is present in more quantity, then CO2 will bind with the hemoglobin, right? So the structure of the hemoglobin will be changed, and thus oxygen will not be able to bind with it. Okay, अगर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का अमाउंट ज़्यादा है तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हीमोग्लोबिन से बाइंड हो जाएगी, एंड जहाँ साइट है जहाँ पर ऑक्सीजन को बाइंड होना था वो साइट फ्री नहीं होगी, इसलिए ऑक्सीजन विल नॉट बी एबल टू बाइंड विद हीमोग्लोबिन. ओके, नाउ इन द सेल्स, दिस इज योर सेकेंड स्टेप. लेट्स कम टू द सेकेंड स्टेप. Now your oxyhemoglobin, this is your oxyhemoglobin. Okay dear students, oxyhemoglobin means hemoglobin plus oxygen, and one hemoglobin can bind with 4 molecules of oxygen. Now this blood will reach the cells. Okay, blood will reach the cells. In the cells, again you remember, in the blood the partial pressure of oxygen is more than CO2. But in the cells, the partial pressure of CO2 is more than oxygen. So reverse है, यहाँ पे oxygen ज़्यादा है, यहाँ पर carbon dioxide ज़्यादा है. Clear? So in this case, this oxygen will dissociate. So आपका जो hemoglobin molecule है वो कहाँ पर present है? Cells में. Now blood has reached the cells. So cells में क्या है? Oxygen कम है. ठीक है? तो अब क्या होगा? हीमोग्लोबिन विल डिसोसिएट. दिस ऑक्सीहेमोग्लोबिन विल डिसोसिएट एंड फॉर्म ऑक्सीजन प्लस HB. ओके, दिस विल रिलीज ऑक्सीजन. Now this oxygen will be taken by the cells. Clear? This oxygen will be taken by the cells and carbon dioxide will be transported into the blood. Okay, dear students. Now in first case, from alveoli, oxygen has came into the blood. Now blood has reached the cells. In the cells, oxygen will be taken by the cells and carbon dioxide will be taken by the blood. Is it clear, everyone? Now carbon dioxide will combine with hemoglobin. As I said, you can see in the structure. In the first picture, you see the oxygen is being released from the hemoglobin and the cells are taking oxygen. Now just see, reverse is also taking. Now carbon dioxide is combining with the blood. Okay, and it will form कार्बा-अमाइनो-hemoglobin. ठीक है, कार्बा-अमाइनो-hemoglobin. Is it clear, everyone? So ऑक्सीजन सेल्स में चली गई है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हीमोग्लोबिन के पास आ गई है, ब्लड के पास आ गई है. नाउ दिस ब्लड विल रिटर्न बैक टू द एल्वेलाई. अब ये जो ब्लड है जिसके पास कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है, ये वापस से पहुंचेगा और कहाँ पहुंचेगा? एल्वेलाई के पास. ठीक है, क्लियर? नाउ in summary we can write oxygen, the transport of oxygen. 95% of the oxygen is transported by hemoglobin, that is RBC, and the 5% of oxygen is being transported by plasma in dissolved form. Secondly, carbon dioxide 20 to 23% or 25% is being transported in the form is transported by RBC in the form of कार्बा-अमाइनो-hemoglobin. 7% is transported in the dissolved form and 70% is transported in the bicarbonates. So in case of oxygen, the hemoglobin is very important because it is transporting 95%. In case of carbon dioxide, the bicarbonates are important because 70% of the carbon dioxide is transported in this form. Okay. Now let's see how this bicarbonate is being transported. अभी जो bicarbonate बन रहा है, ये complex कहाँ है? Where it is present and who is transporting it and how it is occurring? So देखिए, carbon dioxide, because it is more soluble than oxygen, it will combine with water and form carbonic acid. ठीक है? ये जो process हो रहा है, ये RBC के अंदर हो रहा है, in the RBC itself. और ये enzyme जो है carbonic anhydrase, इन दोनों को combine करके क्या बना देगा? Carbonic acid. Now this carbonic acid will combine to form the bicarbonates and release hydrogen ions. Clear? Means carbon dioxide जो है वो RBC के अंदर मौजूद है और then it combines with water and forms carbonic acid. And carbonic acid then breaks to form the bicarbonate ions and the hydrogen ions. ठीक है? Is it clear? Now in this bicarbonate ions which is present in the RBC will reach the cells. Now when it reaches the cells में क्या होगा? When it reaches the cells, the bicarbonate ions again combines with hydrogen and converted back to carbonic acid. Again carbonic acid will release carbon dioxide plus water. ठीक है? Is it clear? तो ये जो step हमारा था, this step, it is occurring in the RBC. Once the you can say cells में, ठीक है, cells में ऐसा हो रहा है. cells में क्या होता है? hemoglobin जो है ऑक्सीजन रिलीज करता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के साथ कंबाइन होता है there. So in RBC it will be happening. And once it reaches the alveoli, जब alveoli में पहुंच जाएंगे तो bicarbonate ions they will produce carbonic acid back and then they will release carbon dioxide. So both these reactions, they are reversible reactions. So first is direction में होते हैं, then reverse happens. Clear, students? Now you must have seen this curve. This is called oxygen dissociation curve. Okay. अगर हम now when we plot the partial pressure of oxygen against the saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen, we will observe this kind of curve. It is called a sigmoid curve. ठीक है, it is called a S-shaped curve or a sigmoid curve. Now if you see sigmoid curve, isn't it? If the partial pressure increases, the saturation level increases, the amount of oxygen present increases, and the amount of, or you can say the partial pressure or the oxygen ability to combine or to dissociate depends on two factors. One is the partial pressure of carbon dioxide and second is the hydrogen concentration. Okay dear students? So दो फैक्टर्स पर हमारी ऑक्सीजन की कंबाइनिंग कैपेसिटी या डिसोसिएशन कैपेसिटी डिपेंड करती है. फर्स्ट इज पार्शियल प्रेशर ऑफ CO2 and second is hydrogen concentration. Okay? And this curve is called oxygen dissociation curve. This curve is called oxygen dissociation curve and it is a sigmoid curve. ठीक है? It is a sigmoid curve. Okay. Now let's come to your homework. First of all, you will make notes of this topic. Secondly, you will read the page numbers 274 and 275, dear students. And tomorrow is Thursday, you know, we'll have the test. So जितना भी हमने chapter 17 complete किया है, till date, till today, we will have the test from it. Okay? Okay, dear students? Bye everyone.